अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस, ये जो है ना मैं यहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा है इसराइल के खिलाफ. You are against Israel, right? That you are protesting.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
protesting against
So
the genocide.
she's from America, right?
I'm from the U.S.
US. So where in US?
Minnesota.
Ah, okay. So just I want to ask you some questions.
Sure.
That you are from America and you have good relation with Israel.
The United
what-
States has
Yeah.
good. The United States, as a government,
Yeah.
has good relations with Israel. That is correct.
And then why you are protesting here against?
I think that ever since George Bush, George W. Bush, there's been an unfair sense of Islamophobia in the United States. I saw this when I was little. In my state, in Minnesota, there is a large community of Somali immigrants who are mostly Muslim. And this was very different than the previous population of Minnesota that was predominantly white and Christian. And so from a young age, I saw the Islamophobic atmosphere towards Muslims just for their faith, from wearing a hijab or from, praying to the God that they believe in. Additionally, in college I went to Israel and Palestine, and it reminded me of the great disparity you see in the United States between white communities and communities of color. And I realized then that it was an apartheid state, that Israel is like a modern, developed country, much like Japan or the U.S., and the Palestinian territories is more or less left behind and sequestered from any type of development or any type of security. And so, having seen this myself, and then when the genocide started, I knew that I couldn't just sit back and allow my government to continue as normal.
Okay. You have Muslim friends, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you have interaction with Muslim people. What do you want to say if I ask you your relation with Muslim people?
I think that it shouldn't be singled out just as my relationship with Muslim people. It should just be a relationship with people.
I mean, like how you found Muslim people? They are good, or how is your behavior? Their behavior with you? Like media is showing a different face, about Islam.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate that the media, and specifically in the U.S., Muslims are always shown in a bad light or being called terrorists. My experience is that many Muslims are some of the nicest people I have ever met. They are my friends that are Muslim. They are welcoming, they are loving, they are compassionate. Even though I myself am not Muslim, I do not identify as Muslim in any way. They welcome me in open arms, and they're some of my very good friends, and I love them dearly.
What I want to say, like good and bad people are everywhere,
Oh yeah.
If I am bad, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
If I'm bad, it doesn't mean Islam is bad.
Yeah.
It's myself, I'm bad. What do you think about it?
Some of the worst people I've ever met in my life are Christians.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
So that's how we cannot say that all the Christian people are bad,
of course, I think it's really sad and unfortunate that, especially in the U.S., there's this narrative that all Muslims are bad, when that's not the case. Just as you can say not all Christians are good, that is certainly not the case. There are good and bad people everywhere. Everywhere, in every religion, in every demographic, good and bad people exist. You can't just limit it to a certain religion or a certain ethnicity or a certain background.
because of few bad people, you cannot say that all Christian are bad. Because of few bad Muslim people, you cannot say Islam is bad. So
Absolutely. I completely agree with that, and I think it's extremely sad how the way the image of Muslims in America has been tainted and has been seen as a group that is all around bad when that's just not the case.
I heard about the Hamas and some bad people over there, but there are so many innocent people are also living. What about these people?
I think that's the biggest tragedy of it all. It's called, in international law, it's called collective punishment, and it's a war crime. Because even if Hamas in whatever they did, on October 7th, and people do disagree with it, the fact that Israel is now using that as an excuse to terrorize the entire population of Gaza is a war crime.
Exactly.
It's not just a tragedy. It's against humanity. It's a war crime, and it's against international law. And I think that it is particularly abhorrent that Israel gets away with breaking international law.
What do you want to say something about Israel, like to your message to Israel?
I'm sorry?
If I ask you that, what do you want to say Israel? Your message for Israel?
I would ask Israeli citizens to think about Gazans not only as someone who is, against them, but as people. We're all people. Just because we might not follow the same religion doesn't mean my life or your life is more important than Palestinians. All life is important, and I think that Israelis should also be outraged at the way that the genocide in Gaza is currently being committed.
I think I'm a Muslim and you are a Christian, right?
I'm Buddhist.
You are Buddhist, okay. So there are a lot of people moving here. They are Christian and different religions. I think first of all we have to think about human,
Yes.
Our religions are next,
Yes.
This is our personal matter, religions.
Yes.
There are no relation between humanity and do you understand what I mean?
At the end of the day, we're all humans, regardless of which religion we subscribe to. There's nothing more important than the fact that we all have the same feelings. We all go through similar experiences in life. We love our family. We love our friends. We look forward to eating good food and being together. This is something that no religion can take away from each other.
What I think, in Japan, we are free. Like if I am Muslim, I can offer my prayer here.
Yeah.
Okay. And Buddhists also, they can follow their religion. The Christians also. I think in the whole world, the system is like this. I won't like.
I agree. That's why, particularly, I really enjoy living in Japan. Living in America in a small white Christian community was very difficult for me because it seemed that if you didn't agree with everybody else, then you were kind of deemed an enemy. And I didn't really agree with that way of thinking because I think that it's important that regardless of what religion you believe in, that we're all humans at the end of the day, and that people should be free to believe in what they do and practice it freely, and that's something that's really great about Japan.
I think we are not against any country, Just we are against the genocide,
Yeah.
So
I agree as well. I think right now something that's really concerning is that if you say something against Israel or the genocide that Israel is committing, you're labeled as an anti-Semite, as that you're against Jews or Judaism, and that's simply not the case. The Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are so similar. Of course there are differences, but the way that it is being used to weaponize people of another faith and take away their humanity is just particularly terrible, in my opinion.
anyway. in last, you want to say something?
Free Palestine.
Of course, Free Palestine. So she's from America. She was giving her views about America and Israel and about Palestine. So there's no matter who we are just human. So we have to think about humanity.
Humanity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.